So today we're going to see
Um,
about this NumPy. What is NumPy and why there is a need to learn this NumPy. Before going into the deep and explaining you on the like a deep level, I just tell you that NumPy is one of the library just like a pandas that we have seen in the last class. And in this class, this NumPy is for numerical Python. As you can see on my screen, this is the numpy.org, a genuine resource to learn about this NumPy. It's is used to do all the mathematical operation that you want to do it in a Python. So they are used. This is the open source library that is allow you or that is help you to work with the numerical data in the Python, whether it is a calculation or performing some arithmetic operations or creating a vector. So in this way, this numpys are used, and basically these numpys are used to read data, multi-dimension data in the form of array, matrix data structure, and they are like an ND array. ND array means one dimension array, n number of an dimension, one dimension, two dimension, multi-dimension. So this n is for the dimension, and it is used to perform a mathematical operation as you can see on my screen. So this called NumPy, stand for numerical Python, and it's a Python library, and we use it with respect to pandas, or when you want to perform some operation on those mathematical operation, when you want to do it logarithm or like suppose exponential operations or like some mathematical operations that you want to do. So we use this NumPy. Now I just wanted to know from you both, did you get a chance to just work on this NumPy, or have you ever heard this before, or have you done work on it?
I've heard of it, but I've never worked with it.
Okay.
Is there
uh,
something called math, import math? Is math a library as well?
yeah, math is
Okay.
we used to do mathematical operations. So that is in other programming like in Java, C language we use like a math.header file. In Java we use math.sqrt, math function. In Python we will do it exactly like that, but this is used to perform some numerical calculation also. Means it is used to deal with the array, that is multi-dimension array, that is an homogeneous data collection, you can think it. And you can perform a set of operation, or you can perform a operation on the set of data. So the steps involved in this is to install NumPy. Okay, how you can install your NumPy. This I have already written the code, but if you want to do me parallelly, you can do it together also in this collab. The way of installing is to, when you work on the Anaconda prompt on your local system, you can just type this conda install numpy. This is a step to install your library. Okay, as you install some other libraries, just like we have done pip installation right in while doing AWS class. And Arush, you might also have Arush, have you aware about this numpy? Have you done work on it?
No, sir. I have heard about it, but I haven't worked with it.
Okay. What about this previous project like COVID analysis one? Have you done that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, do you have any question in that, like how the
No, sir.
so have you means you understood, right?
Yes, sir. I understood it.
Okay, great. So when you want to install, when you want to start with this numpy, you just need to use this pip install numpy, and then you have to import it. Import means you need to add this numpy. Numpy is actually the num Python file that is mm, means that is coded in the Python. And when you want to use any numpy operation or numpy library, you have to import this on your code, just like a header file in a C language, or in Java like import java util dot star, like that you need to import it. So suppose when you want to install numpy, how you're going to do that, pip install numpy, you just need to type this for installing numpy. When you work on your local system, you have to do the same. It will take some time to install the library, and then it will going to show you whether it is successfully done or some error is coming. So it's completely based on the environment where you are running. So it is showing that requirement already satisfied. The reason why it is showing, because I previously already installed in the Colab. So whenever you install any libraries, there is a Google Colab folder is there in the drive of your Gmail ID that you are using to use this Colab. And there this library also get installed, so you don't need to repeat this again and again, and just need to run this. But just check once on your system whether it is giving requirement already satisfy or some other. If you are getting error, then just let me know. You can do parallelly with me. Now the next thing is that once you are done with this, how you can import it. So in order to import this numpy, you just need to write this import numpys np, so that you can add it on your code. And you can read, then you can start reading the values, multiple value you can read it with you. Like if you want to declare it, you can read it. Now suppose you want to import it on your code, how you are going to do that? Import numpys np, and this is, you can take anything. You can take import numpy also, or in short you can take np also. It's done. This tick mark showing that it is successfully run. Now the next step is like, this is the operation, some they did some operation here. What they have done here, they are reading like array. Here they are just reading the data, and it is showing that the shape of this means you have one rows and six column. It means that when you write np dot arrange, it means that you will have a total six data in this. Okay. Np dot arrange means you will going to read a six data, and a to a np dot new axis dot colon. It means that every time when you run this, it will create a new axis. Means you can say it like it is reading the six data, it will going to arrange the new data. Or you can just read as of now. Okay, let's do it parallelly. I am explaining you with the uh, document. Okay, so that this example will be with you, and you can also have a look on this. Okay, so this that's why I'm taking the example from this, and I have created the few example from here also. Means previously I have a coded date, I have written the code, so you can refer from here also. I will going to share both. uh, Hope you have installed this pip means numpys and imported successfully. Now if you want to read this data, how you can do it? You can take any variable, not only the a. You can take any variable np dot arrange, and six will be it mean that you are going to read the data here. How many number of count of data? Six. You can see it will going to suggest you, and it will show you built-in function. Arrange is one function. So you can see here I have taken 7, right? Now when I pass 7 here, it is taking value from 0 to 6. So as you know that I told you in the list and tuple that it always follow n minus 1 rule, right? So Python always follow n minus 1 rule. In NumPy also it is like that. So whatever value you are going to pass it here, starting from the 0, it will going to read that much value. Okay, in that range. Arrange means in that range. So it is going to take n minus 1. If you want to see it, it is showing also built-in function, right? So when I if you change 7 to 9, it will going to take from 0 to 8, right? You can If you want to find it out, what is a like a dimension of this, so you can use this shape function. So it is going to show you 9, right? Okay, let me just 1 minute. Sorry. So it may show you that you have a 9 data in this, and by default it is only one dimension, right? As of now we have declared only one dimension. So like this, when you use this shape function, as you already seen that in pandas also I use shape function, and it is showing that you have a 9 element inside this. Is it clear till now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, any question,
Yes.
anything? Yeah.
Sir, one question that this arrange function, it will show till the number of elements you have specified in the parenthesis, it will show the count till that number, right?
Yes. Yes. Yes, correct.
Okay, sir.
Similarly, you can try it also if this you want. Np.new axis means it will going to uh, print it in the form of an axis. Okay, let me take. It will going to tell you what is the like a number of rows in that. So here you can see it here, means new axis colon. So whenever you type any function, or whenever you type the function from here, you can see it here, like you will get the idea, like whenever you type a function, your Colab will suggest you that you are writing the correct function, or you can directly click on that function and you can print it here. Okay, just like when I type it here, it was suggesting me also. Okay, array 0128. Okay, it has shown that element. Okay, both are same only. Okay, I think it is in Python 2. Just let 1 minute, let me check np.new axis. But we have used exactly same, right? Okay, 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 a, okay. Here, yes, we are done correct here. Okay, let me check it here. Okay, yeah, correct, yes. Yeah. So as we have seen it here, right? So here you can see when I was, what is the difference in this two? Okay. The difference is like when I'm typing a dot shape. Okay. For this, it is only going to show you the number of element, and that is, it's just telling you that you have a number of element, how many number of element you have. But the thing is that it is not giving you the rows, because the when you use this np dot arrange function, it take into consideration that it is by default, means right now, because you have read only, you have given only one value, so they considered it like it's a one dimension, and they just tell you the total number of element. But when you want to see like how many number of rows you have, and in that rows what is the number of element, then you need to use np.new axis function and this colon, so that they will going to consider that till the end of the element, they will tell you what will be the number of element on that particular single row. I repeat once again, you might have seen in the list we were passing whenever we want to print it, we were printing like this, right? Print, we are passing the list and starting index colon, like this we were printing, right? Why we are passing this colon? Because starting from one index till the end it will going to print. So this colon is representing the same. uh, np.new access will going to tell you on that particular row the number of element how many it is. Till the end of that it will going to count, and it will going to print the shape. So like this it works. Now the next thing is like what is the difference in this, you might be a question coming in your mind, like what is the difference in Python list and NumPy. See, Python list is a data structure. NumPy also you can say it like that, but NumPy is specifically to perform mathematical operation. And why we are using this NumPy, because you can see this line. NumPy is very helpful when you want to work with numerical data. Okay, they are faster. And as you know, like array occupy less memory as compared to the other data structure, because we have indexes there. Okay, and indexes are there, datas are arranged in a sequences, so you will get the data in a contiguous fashion. So they are occupying the less space. But some other data structure, inside the memory datas are saved randomly, so they take more space and more timing for computation. So NumPy are usually perform faster with the data, uh, specifically the homogeneous data, the array, and that is the reason we use this. So this thing you note down somewhere, or maybe I will going to share this link with you. Okay, let me share the link with you, so that in case if you want to take a future references from this NumPy, you can take it. I have sent it to you both. Okay, so NumPys are faster because they are helpful in doing mathematical operation. And now, as I said you, like suppose you want to work with the array, right? So suppose one dimension data you want to work, how you are going to declare that? It will going to suggest you, so based on that it will you can write it. Now you might have studied matrices, right? So if you whatever you want to pass, whatever you will value you will going to pass in a square bracket, that will be act as a array. Okay, that will be one dimension array. Let me print it. You can see it is showing that it's Arush is an array, and in this we have an element 1 2 3. So this is cross 1 cross 3. Okay, this is what is the dimension of this 1 cross 3. Why 1 cross 3? It is having 1 rows and 3 column. Okay, now if I want to check the shape also, you can do it. You can see it is showing 3 because it is a one dimension, so it is showing 3 element you have in that. Oh, sorry. Now let's take one more thing. Okay, let's start from the next cell. I'm taking one more example, star np dot array. Now I want to declare two dimension. Okay, here there is a means I want to declare two array, means two rows in a single array. You can say, or like a in the matrices I want a two rows. Then how I will do that? Here what we did, it is just think it like this is a matrices with one rows and three column. Now the scenario is you have to add a two column. How you're going to do that? Okay, So you can see here, this is an array with matrices. You can say 2 cross 3, right? 2 cross 3 means you have a 2 rows and 3 column, right? Now similarly, if you want to do for 3 cross 3, how you can do it? I'm giving your name, but just so that you can remember it. So I'm just giving the name or your. Okay, let's take my name only here.
I don't mind. It's okay.
So suppose if you want to give a three rows, so it's very easy. Just remember that you need to just close this comma, then again a square bracket, then 7 8 9, and remember from where you are starting, just close this, so that it, and when you will run it, okay, let me add name. So when you are running this, you are getting 3 cross 3. 3 cross 3 means here you have a 3 rows and 3 column, right? So like this you can print an array. Okay, you can perform operation on this array also. We will going to see how you can do it. Now till now we have seen how you can declare an array. Okay, now and you can have one more thing. Try to put an habit of, like, suppose yeah, let me, I started declaring array from here, right? So let me remove this and change it, numpy array operations and declarations. So okay, sorry. So it will come like this. Okay, what happens? Just 1 minute. Mhm. So this heading also I'm putting, so that just adding this heading here, so that you will come to know from where we are starting the operations. Okay. Oh, okay, I think I have added in a wrong file. I need to add it here, sorry. Hmm. So now we will going to start the operation on this. Okay. So like suppose now we have seen till how you can create an array from this numpy. Okay, so I have given the name, and suppose now you want to access it. How you can access it? Suppose you want to access the element first row you want to access, or you want to just see what is the content of my array, that is on this array that I declare this a. So how you can print it? You can simply write print a0, then it will going to print your whole 0 row. Okay, here also, like, we follow like an array only, means here whatever you declare it, like this is your 0th row, that is your first row, it means this is your first row, that means your second, and this is your second row, that means it's third, because index start from 0. So how you can access it here? So you can see here, you want to get, suppose if you want to find out the first row, or you want to see what is the content of array declared with the name Amit, then you can print it like this. Now if you want to print specifically the first element, you can use like this. So you can see zeroth row, zeroth column will be 1. What is zeroth row and first column? 2, right? This is zeroth row and your first column, that is 2. Now zeroth row third column will be what? Oh sorry, second column, because here we start index from 0. So you can see, so like this you can access the element. So accessing the specific element, I'm adding comment also. So when you will going to run on your system, or you will practice it, you can do immediately accessing specific element. So you can do it like this. Or when you want to access any specific row, how you can do it? Just type the name of an array and the row number. Okay, is it clear to you till now? So
Yes.
as the,
Yes, sir.
yeah, okay. So as they said, like you can declare many, means multiple dimension array here. One array, that is 1D array. 1D array means one dimension, 2D means two dimension, ND array means n number of dimension, matrices. So lot of this different kind of operation we can do it here. Okay, and you can create a array like this, as I already said you. So internally how they create it, I've shown you, like you can create an array like this, but internally how they represent like this. When you declare 1 2 3, they save like this 1 2 3. But when you create a multiple array, it will be saving in the form of rows. Okay, actually this is a row right now, because we have created only 3 element. That is why it is showing like this. When you add more square bracket inside this, then the element will going to save horizontal. Okay, now if you want to print an array, okay, if you want, suppose here you want to print an array with zeros. Okay, you want an array with only 0 element, how you're going to do that? So you can see here, he's here, they have created an array with 3 zeros. Okay, similarly if you want to change it, it will be like 9. If you enter, how many element they will going to add? 9 0 they will going to add. So like this you can do it. So here this is for what? Adding, or you can say creating an array with zeros element, or creating an array with multiple zeros element. Now similarly I seen one more function here. I have not used it, but let's try it before. Zeros like, let me check what how it will works. Okay, zeros like an array, the shape and data type of a define the same attribute of the return array. The shape and data type of a okay, of an array define the same attribute of a return array. Okay, let me run this and check. Okay, array 0. Okay, why it is giving? Okay, let me take. Okay, now let me pass the array name here, a. So how many? 3 369. Okay, let me pass Amit here. Okay, yeah. It means that whatever array you have created it will going to replace the element of that array with the zeros, zero like. So actually I have not used this before, zero like. So it was suggesting me while entering this zero function. So I thought to use and show you. So like this also you can learn it. In case when you type means when you type any function here, so they will going to suggest just like let me remove it. Okay, when you type like this they will going to suggest you. So based on that you can try it, and you can get that description also there. So here this Amit is an array which is having a 9 element total, 3 rows. So it is going to replace all the 3 rows element with zeros. Okay, so this is one more operation we did today. Now similarly there can be multiple operation we can do it here. Now let's see, this is an empty array with a 2 element. Okay, so you want to suppose, okay, once also we need to check if you want to create an array with only one value, then you can create it. You are doing parallelly, right? Or you will going to do later on?
So I will do it after the class.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, me too. I understood this part, but I guess I was absent-minded when you were explaining accessing specific row.
Okay,
So why did we no accessing specific element? So why did we get three there again?
where?
Uh, I'm talking about line number 22.
Here, because here I am trying to access the specific element of this array, Amit. So you can see here I told you in the array indexes start from 0, right? So 0 2 means I wanted to see the element which are present in my 0th row and second column. So which is a 0 row here?
Ah, got it. Got it. It's three. Oh, zero
Yeah.
is one, and then the second
Yeah,
element
this is
would be
3.
three.
So this is the
Got it.
element. And indexes start from 0, so that's why. So it will be 0 1 2, and similarly the column also 0 1 2. So it will be like this. So it is printing 3.
Got it.
Now similarly if you want to try an np dot empty, then you can just type here and try with 5 element. So here they will going to take a random some values on this array when you type empty function. You can study from here also, in case suppose if anything is not clear. You can see here the function empty create an array whose initial content is random and depend on the state of memory. The reason to use an empty over the zeros or something similar is to just speed up or to just fill the element, speed up in the sense because if you use all the element zeros or all the element one, then if you do some operation then that will be not effective. You can't see anything something special in that, because if you multiply also a matrix with zero element with another element, you will get zero, right? And if you multiply matrix with an element with a array or matrix with one, you will get the same element, right? Suppose if you multiply 5 cross 1, you will get 5. If you multiply 5 cross 0, you will get 0. So that's why they are saying you use empty. They will going to take a random value in that, and that's the reason it's taking random, and it's always depend on a random. It's not like what value you have got it now you will get it that. It depends on the memory state. Okay, so this empty will going to give you certain random value. Okay, hope it is clear to you. Now same thing as I said you, a range function. Okay, so this range function will give you the element in a equally space step size. Okay, now here you see 4 I am typing here. So what they will going to do, they will going to print 0 to 3. Okay, and by default the step size is 1. But now suppose if you want to start from 2 to 9, and you want the difference should be 2 in between every element, you will give pass the step size here. Okay, so here you can see, as I said you, in the destination means the and number, always it will go till n minus 1. That is why it is starting from 2, 4, 6, 8, and there is a difference of 2 here. You can see it here. Okay, so like suppose if I type it here, now instead of 2 I am taking 1, and instead of 9 I am taking 11, and instead of 2 I am taking 2.5, or not 2.5. Okay, let it be 2 only. So it will go starting from 1 to 10, and it will print like this. Let's check. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, right? Hope you understand this. It will go till 10, but as it is a odd, so it is printing till 9. If I take another example, np dot arrange, okay, so you can, from the starting you can, I think you might have understood now, like how we are using this numpy to do several operation with array, mathematical operation, content of an array, content of a matrix, you can say, content of one dimension, two dimension, multi-dimension array, right? So that's why, and they are faster. That's the reason we use this. Now here I want to start from 2 till 20, and it should be step size 3. So let's see how they are taking 2, 5, some. Okay, sorry, what happened? Oh, sorry, I forgot to add a comma here. So you can see here, it is taking 2, 5. The difference between every element is 3. Here also 3, here also 3, here also 3, here also 3. Now after 17, if this compiler they add 3, it will become 20. And as per the, we know that in Python it always take n minus 1. So max to max 19 should come, not more than that. But here we are getting 20, so that's why they will going to take till 70. Okay, now what about the decimal value? Suppose if you have a decimal value, how you are going to do that? You can see it here. If you have a decimal value in that, means you want to get a difference of 2.5, 5, 7.5, like that, how you're going to do? So you need to use this function np.line space. This function you can use it, and you can explore more also on this. Like let me do it. So now you can see this, and when you put the cursor over it, it will tell you, like internally this predefined function line space, how many element they are accepting internally. Means we are just calling this, you can just think that with the help of numpy we are calling this line space function. I am passing the starting element, stop element, and I'm going to pass the number that I want between those, this starting and stop element. So you can read from this also the references, or you can read it like what actually this function will going to do. Let me take from 1, and I'm taking it like 15, and see like what element they are taking. So see, it is randomly, it is taking a value between 1 to 15, and that should be only 5. It means that starting from 1 to 15 I want random value, and that value should be 5 only, not more than that. Let's take 10 here. So you can see here it is 10 element, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, right? So starting is 1, and is 15, and in between this they're taking random values. How many random values they are taking? Total 10, right? So like this it works. Similarly, you can perform operations like how many number of ones you want in an array, what will be the type of that array. So d type np dot int 64 if you use, then obviously it will going to take a integer data. Np dot 1, how many element you will take. Oh, sorry, 1 minute. I think I have. Okay, keyword count. I think you need to join again. We are just about to 30 second. Please join once again. Okay, okay. I have added comma here.